Most people think manifestation is about sitting in lotus position, visualizing their dream life, and waiting for the universe to deliver, but that's exactly why 99% of them never manifest a damn thing. Here's what the spiritual gurus don't want you to know: manifestation isn't some mystical woo-woo process that happens in your head. It's actually a precise science that combines quantum physics with practical action, and once you understand the real mechanics behind it, your entire reality shifts faster than you ever thought possible. I used to be one of those people meditating for hours, journaling my desires, and creating vision boards while staying completely broke and frustrated, wondering why everyone else seemed to crack the code while I was stuck spinning my wheels. The breakthrough came when I realized I was missing 3 critical elements that nobody talks about in those feel-good manifestation videos. See, your brain is literally a quantum computer that's constantly broadcasting signals into the field of infinite possibilities, but most people are unknowingly sabotaging their own transmission with conflicting programs running in the background. It's like trying to tune into your favorite radio station while 3 other stations are playing static at the same time. You're never going to get a clear signal. What I discovered is that true manifestation requires the perfect alignment of your belief system, your self-image, and your confidence level, all working together to create what Neville Goddard called living from the end. But here's the kicker that changed everything for me: manifestation isn't just about inner work, it's about becoming the type of person who naturally takes inspired action when opportunities appear. Your higher self is constantly downloading guidance and opening doors, but if you're not embodying the energy of someone who deserves those opportunities, you'll either miss them completely or fumble them when they show up. The spiritual energy you carry determines which possibilities become available in your field, but it's your willingness to act on that guidance that actually brings those possibilities into physical reality. This is why some people seem to manifest effortlessly while others struggle for decades with the same tired techniques. Once I understood this missing piece about the connection between consciousness and action, my whole world transformed. Within 6 months, I went from barely scraping by to building a 6-figure business, attracting incredible relationships, and living with a level of abundance that my old self couldn't even imagine. The universe started responding to me like I was finally speaking its language fluently, and opportunities began showing up faster than I could even process them. What I'm about to share with you isn't just theory, it's the exact 3-part system that took me from spiritual seeker to successful manifester, and it works regardless of where you're starting from. The crazy part is how simple it actually is once you see the real mechanics behind it. You don't need years of meditation, expensive courses, or some special genetic gift. You just need to understand how to align these 3 fundamental elements so they're all broadcasting the same frequency. When your beliefs, self-image, and confidence are all pointing in the same direction and inspiring aligned action, manifestation becomes as natural as breathing. But most people never learn how to integrate these elements properly, so they stay stuck in the wishing and hoping phase while their dreams remain frustratingly out of reach. You know what's wild about beliefs? They're not just thoughts floating around in your head, they're the actual blueprint of your reality. Most folks think their circumstances create their beliefs, but here's the thing that'll blow your mind: it's completely backwards. Your beliefs are literally programming your quantum field, shaping every opportunity that comes your way. When someone grows up in poverty, like I did in a small town in Ohio, those early experiences don't just create memories, they create belief systems that act like invisible prison walls. The universe responds to the vibration of what you truly believe about yourself, not what you think you deserve. I remember being 8 years old, watching my mom count quarters just to buy milk, and thinking money must be evil because good people like us never have it. That single belief became my spiritual energy signature for decades. Every time prosperity tried to flow into my life, that old programming would kick in like a spiritual immune system, rejecting abundance because my higher self couldn't align with something I fundamentally believed was wrong. Neville Goddard talks about how we're always creating from our assumptions, and man, was I assuming scarcity at a cellular level. The crazy part? I didn't even realize I was doing it. These beliefs were running my show from the shadows. Here's where it gets really interesting though. Beliefs aren't permanent fixtures, they're more like software that can be updated. When you start paying attention to your internal dialogue, you'll catch yourself saying things like "I can't afford that" or "people like me don't get those opportunities." Each time you hear that voice, you're witnessing your belief system in action. The expansion of consciousness happens when you realize you have the power to reprogram these patterns. Joe Dispenza's research shows that when we consciously choose new thoughts repeatedly, we literally rewire our neural pathways and change our body's chemistry. So I started this crazy experiment. Every time I caught myself thinking a limiting thought about money, I'd immediately flip it. Instead of "I can't afford it," I'd say "money flows to me easily and abundantly." Instead of "I'm not good enough," I'd declare "I am talented and worthy of success." At first, it felt like I was lying to myself, but here's what nobody tells you about affirmations: they're not about convincing your conscious mind, they're about reprogramming your subconscious energy patterns. Your divine spark responds to repetition and emotion, not logic. The universe doesn't care if you believe it initially, it only cares about the vibration you're consistently broadcasting. The transformation didn't happen overnight, but within 6 months, opportunities started showing up that had never appeared before. People began treating me differently, investments I'd never considered became available, and my whole relationship with prosperity shifted. What I discovered is that beliefs are like the foundation of a house. You can't build a mansion on a foundation designed for a shack. Your spiritual journey isn't just about meditation and crystals, it's about fundamentally rewiring the core operating system that's been running your life. And once you master this first piece, you'll start to see how your beliefs about yourself create an even deeper layer of reality. Your self-image is like your personal territory in this vast universe, and here's something most people never realize: you can only operate within the boundaries of how you see yourself. Think of it like this: a cat that's lived its whole life in a single neighborhood will never venture beyond those familiar streets, even if you open every gate and remove every fence. That cat's mental map defines its entire world. Your self-image works exactly the same way. It's the invisible boundary that determines how big you're willing to dream, how much abundance you'll accept, and what level of success feels normal for someone like you. The expansion of consciousness isn't just about spiritual growth, it's about expanding the mental territory where you allow yourself to exist. Here's where it gets really fascinating though: most of us have two completely different versions of ourselves running simultaneously. There's the person you are when nobody's watching, in your private moments when you're dreaming big and feeling unstoppable. Then there's the person you become the moment you step into the world, shrinking down to fit what you think others expect or what feels realistic. I used to dream about building $1 million business in my bedroom, feeling totally aligned with that vision. But the second I had to pitch to an investor or speak at an event, I'd unconsciously dial myself down to small business owner from Ohio. Your quantum field responds to authenticity, and when there's a mismatch between your private and public self, you're literally broadcasting mixed signals to the universe. The crazy thing about self-image is that it's not based on your actual capabilities, it's based on the story you've been telling yourself about who you are. You might have incredible talents, brilliant ideas, and all the tools for massive success, but if your internal identity says "I'm just not that type of person," then you'll unconsciously sabotage every opportunity that tries to elevate you beyond that self-concept. Joe Dispenza talks about how we become addicted to our familiar emotional states, even when they're limiting us. Your higher self knows you're capable of extraordinary things, but your ego mind clings to the familiar territory of who you've always been. This is why affirmations alone don't work. You can't just think your way into a new identity. What you need to do is start expanding your mental territory deliberately, like claiming new land for your personal kingdom. When you're setting goals for your YouTube channel, don't just think about getting to 10,000 subscribers if you currently have 1,000. Start seeing yourself as someone who naturally attracts hundreds of thousands of engaged followers. When you're in business meetings, Carry yourself like someone who's already closing six-figure deals, even if you're just starting out. Your spiritual energy shifts when you embody the identity of who you're becoming, not who you've been. The universe responds to the person you're being right now, in this moment, not your past track record or your current bank account. But here's the thing that'll really blow your mind: your self-image isn't just affecting your results, it's literally determining which opportunities even show up in your reality. When you see yourself as small, the universe sends you small problems, small clients, and small solutions. When you expand that internal image to match your true potential, suddenly bigger players want to collaborate with you, higher-level opportunities start appearing, and the whole game changes. Your divine spark is always trying to express itself at the highest level possible, but it can only work through the identity you're currently embodying. And once you master this expansion of who you think you are, there's still one more element that determines whether you'll actually seize those bigger opportunities when they appear. Confidence isn't just a nice-to-have personality trait, it's the actual engine that converts your beliefs and self-image into real-world results. You can have rock-solid beliefs about abundance and see yourself as a successful entrepreneur, but without confidence, you're like a Ferrari with no gas in the tank. I learned this lesson the hard way when I was dating in my 20s. There were times when I'd approach a woman I was attracted to while feeling completely aligned with my worth and potential, and the conversation would flow effortlessly. She'd be laughing, engaged, totally drawn to my energy. Other times, I'd approach someone with the exact same words but carrying doubt and insecurity, and I'd get shut down before I even finished my first sentence. The difference wasn't my appearance or my pickup lines, it was the vibration of confidence I was radiating. Here's what's wild about confidence: it's not about what you know or what you've accomplished, it's about the energy you're broadcasting in the present moment. Your spiritual energy field communicates to others long before you even speak. When you walk into a room carrying the frequency of certainty, people unconsciously respond to that quantum field you're projecting. Neville Goddard used to say that everyone is you pushed out, meaning the world reflects back the state of consciousness you're operating from. If you're vibrating uncertainty and self-doubt, that's exactly what you'll get mirrored back to you in every interaction. But when you embody unshakable confidence, doors open, people say yes, and opportunities align like magic. The thing is, most guys think confidence comes from external validation or past successes, but that's backwards thinking that keeps you trapped in limitation. Real confidence is a choice you make about how you're going to show up right now, regardless of your track record. It's about carrying yourself like the expanded version of who you're becoming, not the contracted version of who you've been. When I started my first business, I had zero experience and no credentials, but I made a decision to show up to every meeting as if I was already the expert they needed. That energy of certainty became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Clients started treating me like the authority I was embodying, and my results matched the confidence I was projecting. This applies to everything in your life, not just relationships or business. When you're negotiating a deal, pitching an idea, or even just ordering at a restaurant, the level of confidence you bring determines the level of respect and results you receive. Your higher self is always trying to express its full potential through you, but confidence is the bridge that allows that divine spark to actually impact the physical world. Joe Dispenza talks about how our personality creates our personal reality, and confidence is probably the most magnetic aspect of personality there is. People are naturally drawn to certainty because it feels safe and inspiring. They want to be around someone who knows where they're going. But here's where most people get it wrong: they wait to feel confident before they take action, when actually it works the opposite way. Confidence is built through action, not thought. Every time you speak up in a meeting when you'd normally stay quiet, every time you walk with your shoulders back instead of hunched forward, every time you look someone in the eye instead of glancing away, you're literally rewiring your nervous system to embody more confidence. Your body doesn't know the difference between acting confident and being confident, it just responds to the posture and behavior you choose. And when you combine this unshakable confidence with the right beliefs and expanded self-image, something magical happens that most people completely miss about how manifestation actually works. Here's what nobody wants to hear about manifestation: it's not some mystical process where you just visualize and wait for the universe to deliver. That's spiritual bypassing at its finest, and it's why so many people get frustrated with the law of attraction and give up. Real manifestation happens when your aligned beliefs, expanded self-image, and unshakable confidence converge to inspire the exact right action at the exact right moment. You could be sitting in front of a potential $5,000 client right now, but if you're not embodying the energy of someone who naturally attracts that level of investment, you'll either not recognize the opportunity or fumble it completely. The universe is constantly presenting you with exactly what you need to create your desired reality, but manifestation requires you to be awake enough to see it and confident enough to seize it. Most people think manifestation is about getting what they want without having to do anything differently, but that's like expecting to build muscle by just thinking about working out. Your quantum field responds to aligned action, not wishful thinking. When Joe Dispenza talks about becoming greater than your environment, he's talking about taking inspired action that matches your elevated state of consciousness. Every day, opportunities for expansion are showing up in your reality: conversations that could lead to partnerships, ideas that could become profitable businesses, connections that could change everything. But if you're not moving with the confidence of someone who expects miraculous outcomes, those opportunities will pass right by you like ships in the night. The people commenting on manifestation videos saying "just visualize and it'll happen" are usually the same ones who've been trying to manifest the same things for years without results. Here's the truth they don't want to face: the universe is always responding to who you're being, not what you're wanting. If you're being someone who takes inspired action when guidance shows up, you'll manifest quickly and consistently. If you're being someone who just thinks about their goals without moving toward them, you'll stay stuck in the thinking phase forever. Your higher self is constantly downloading new ideas, presenting synchronicities, and opening doors, but it needs a physical vessel that's willing to walk through those doors with confidence and conviction. This is why some people seem to manifest effortlessly while others struggle for decades. The ones who make it look easy have learned to recognize inspired action when it shows up and take it immediately, even when it doesn't make logical sense. They've trained themselves to say yes to opportunities that align with their expanded vision, even when their current circumstances suggest they're not ready. When I was building my business, there were countless moments when I had to choose between playing small and safe or taking a leap that required me to grow into the person I claimed I wanted to become. Every time I chose expansion over comfort, the universe responded with bigger opportunities and more abundant flows. The spiritual energy you carry determines which opportunities appear in your field, but the actions you take determine which ones actually materialize into your experience. You can have perfect beliefs about abundance, see yourself as a successful entrepreneur, and radiate confidence, but if you're not willing to have the difficult conversations, make the uncomfortable phone calls, or invest in your growth when the opportunity arises, you'll stay stuck in potential forever. Manifestation isn't about avoiding the work, it's about being so aligned with your vision that taking inspired action feels effortless and exciting. And once you understand this dance between inner alignment and outer action, there's a simple daily practice that'll help you integrate all three elements so they become your natural way of being. The beautiful thing about transforming your reality is that it doesn't require expensive courses, exotic retreats, or years of therapy. It happens through the small, consistent ways you choose to show up differently in your everyday life. Every morning when you get out of bed, you have the opportunity to embody the expanded version of yourself instead of defaulting to the familiar patterns that have kept you stuck. Start with something as simple as how you walk. Instead of shuffling through your day with your head down and shoulders hunched, walk like someone who owns their space in this world. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between acting as if and being, it just responds to the physical signals you're sending, and over time, those signals become your new identity. When you're talking with friends, family, or colleagues, practice speaking from the energy of who you're becoming rather than who you've been. If you're building a business, Talk about your projects with the enthusiasm and certainty of someone who's already successful, not with the apologetic energy of someone who's just starting out. When you're at networking events or social gatherings, introduce yourself as the expanded version of your identity, not with false bravado, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth. Your spiritual energy field shifts every time you choose expansion over contraction, and people unconsciously respond to that elevated vibration by treating you accordingly. Here's something most people miss: your subconscious mind is always watching how you move through the world, and it's constantly updating its beliefs about who you are based on your behavior. When you consistently carry yourself like someone who expects good things to happen, your body starts producing the chemistry of success before you even achieve external results. Joe Dispenza's research shows that we can literally change our personality and biology through conscious daily practices that embody our future self. Every time you choose to walk with confidence instead of insecurity, speak with authority instead of uncertainty, or act with abundance instead of scarcity, you're literally rewiring your neural pathways and upgrading your quantum field. The magic happens when you make this conscious embodiment a daily practice rather than something you only do when you feel motivated. Set reminders on your phone to check in with your posture throughout the day. Are you carrying yourself like the successful person you're becoming or like the limited person you used to be? When you're on phone calls, stand up and gesture as if you're speaking to a room full of people who respect your expertise. When you're alone in your car, practice speaking about your goals with the passion and certainty of someone who knows they're inevitable. Your higher self is always ready to express its full potential, but it needs you to create the energetic space for that expression through how you choose to be in each moment. What's incredible is how quickly your external reality starts shifting when you make this internal shift consistent. Within weeks, people begin responding to you differently. They take you more seriously, offer you better opportunities, and treat you with more respect. Your divine spark starts attracting circumstances that match the energy you're consistently broadcasting. The universe doesn't care about your past story or current limitations, it only responds to the vibrational frequency you're emitting right now. And when you integrate these three elements: aligned beliefs, expanded self-image, and embodied confidence through daily practice, you become an unstoppable force of conscious creation, naturally manifesting the life you've always known was possible. So here's my challenge for you: stop being a spiritual consumer and start being a conscious creator. Everything I've shared with you today isn't meant to be another piece of information you file away in your mind and forget about. This is your blueprint for completely transforming your reality, but it only works if you actually apply it. Right now, as you're reading this, your old patterns are already trying to pull you back into the familiar territory of who you've always been. The question is, are you going to let them win, or are you finally ready to step into the expanded version of yourself that's been waiting patiently in the wings? I want you to pick one area of your life where you've been playing small. Maybe it's your business, your relationships, your health, or your creative expression. For the next 7 days, I want you to consciously embody the beliefs, self-image, and confidence of someone who's already mastered that area. Walk different, talk different, make decisions different. When opportunities show up that require you to grow beyond your comfort zone, say yes before your logical mind can talk you out of it. Your higher self has been trying to guide you toward these moments of expansion, and now you have the tools to recognize them and act on them with certainty. Here's what I know about you: even though we've never met, you wouldn't have watched this far if you weren't ready for a major breakthrough in your life. Something inside you recognizes the truth in what I'm sharing because your divine spark has been trying to express these same principles through you. The universe has been conspiring to get this information in front of you at exactly the right time, and now it's up to you to honor that synchronicity with aligned action. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. Your spiritual journey isn't about perfection, it's about progression. But here's what I'm really curious about: what's the one belief that's been holding you back the most? Is it about money, relationships, success, or something else entirely? Drop a comment below and let me know what limiting belief you're finally ready to reprogram, because I read every single comment and I might just create a follow-up video addressing the most common patterns I see. Your breakthrough could be the key that unlocks someone else's transformation too. Remember, we're all connected in this quantum field of infinite possibilities, and when you elevate your consciousness, you're literally raising the vibration for everyone around you. If this resonated with you and you're ready to dive deeper into the science of conscious creation, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. I'm constantly sharing advanced techniques that you won't find anywhere else, methods that combine ancient wisdom with cutting-edge quantum physics to help you manifest faster than you ever thought possible. Your transformation is just beginning, and I want to be your guide as you step into the most abundant, successful, and spiritually aligned version of yourself. The universe is waiting for you to claim your power. Are you ready to answer the call?